Our program is hosted by the Mojave Water Agency and the Apple Valley Chamber of Commerce. This year's incredible sponsors are Victor Valley Wastewater Reclamation Authority, Alltech Civil Engineering Incorporated, and Liberty Utilities. Before we get into the event, I would like to ask Joy Lynn Johnson to come lead us in a short prayer and the Pledge of Allegiance.
Good morning, everyone. If you are all comfortable, would you please stand and bow your heads with me as I say a quick prayer. Dear God, I thank you so much for this day and the opportunity we have to be here this morning. Lord, I just pray that you would bless this event, that you would bless the learning of the students, Lord, about their water supplies, and I just pray that you would inspire them, God, really to take action and to apply the things that they learned today. And I also want to thank you so much for all the people who made this event possible. Thank you for the hosts, the sponsors, the presenters. And Lord, I just pray that you would bless this event and our learning and would our lives just bring glory to your name. And it's in your Son's name I pray. Amen. Now, would you please put your right hand over your heart as we say the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. You may be seated.
Thank you, Joy. Now I'd like to introduce Kimberly Cox. Ms. Cox is the Mojave Water Agency Board President and the General Manager for the Hellendale Community Service District.
Thank you so much. On behalf of the Mojave Water Agency Board of Directors, we just want to thank you all for being here. It's so wonderful to look out in the audience and see these amazing, brilliant faces of our young people here. I'd like to introduce a few members from our board who are able to be here today. We have Vice President Carl Coleman, if you could stand. We have Thurston Smitty Smith here with us today. And I haven't seen him yet, but is Director Richard Hall here? Nope, I'm not seeing him. He was hoping to be here. We do have 3 of our directors that weren't able to be here, Beverly Lowry, Mike Page, and Jim Ventura. But we all wanted to share with you on behalf of the entire board that we so much appreciate you being here. We are huge fans of this event, and we really look to you young people for solving our problems as we move into the future. I'd also like to introduce the Apple Valley Chamber of Commerce Executive Officer, and that's Janice Moore. They are a co-sponsor with Mojave Water Agency in this event today, and we really appreciate their partnership. I do have a few other elected officials that I would like to introduce. We have Art Bishop, who is the mayor of the town of Apple Valley. We have Barbara Schneider, who is the president of the Hellendale School Board. There you are, Barbara. And we have her husband, Craig Schneider, who is on the board of directors for the Hellendale Community Services District. Up front, we have Deborah Jones, who is the board clerk for the Adelanto School District. We also have Bob Tinsley, who is on the Apple Valley Fire Board. Thank you for being here today. In 2007, Mojave Water Agency hosted the first High Desert Water Summit for our high school STEM students. This year, we've also invited the middle school students and added some breakout sessions and a new competition that I know you all can't wait to see, and that's the Curiosity Quest Problem Solvers. You'll hear more about that later on this morning. The purpose of this event isn't to hold an educational field trip on water and show you some boring information. It's about engaging you to begin to think and develop solutions to our water problems in California and throughout the world. We in the water industry are looking to you to take today's body of knowledge and innovation to the next higher level. We're looking to you to change the world. I know that's a tall order, but we have all the confidence in the world that you can do that. And when you hear our speakers and presenters today, you'll know we're in good hands for the future. So with that, I hope you enjoy the program today, and more importantly, I hope that you leave this event on a mission to help achieve water sustainability in our world. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Cox. This morning, our program will feature speakers on how you can make a difference, make a career out of wastewater, learn about high desert's geology, and California's water puzzle. You'll also hear from this year's essay contest winner, and we will find out which Problem Solvers team will win the $3,000 scholarship for their school. We'll take a break around 10:30 a.m., and before we leave today, everyone will receive a box lunch. If you feel the need to go to the bathroom, you might want to know that the bathrooms are right outside in the hallway, and for the women, that will be right to your left, and the men, that will be to your right. Now, there will be career tables outside. If you go outside, you'll see there should be around 4 or 5. And if you stop by and get 3 signs off, you can enter to win a gift card for $25. Now, I'd like to ask you guys to keep your phones on silent for the duration of the event. And if you guys haven't seen already in your itinerary, you should have the schedule and some information on your speakers. And this morning, our keynote speaker, Bryce Satori, is all about changing the world. In fact, he's created his own company called Don't Be Average. Let's welcome Bryce Satori.
Every time I hear that song, I just get pumped, right? I always want to go out and do something after it. But I think the build-up really made it that much better today. First off, before we start, I want to thank the Mojave Water Agency for putting this event on, because if it wasn't for them, I would not be here. So let's give them a round of applause, please, guys. All right, now we're going to jump right into this, because I only got you for a couple minutes. The first thing we're going to do, guys, is we're going to play a game. The way the game works is I'm going to say 2 words. After I say these 2 words, I want you to shout out whatever word or phrase comes to mind. There's one rule. Don't think at all. It's probably the first time you've ever been told that. Do not think, just shout out whatever word pops into your head, okay? You guys got it? All right, here we go. I am... Louder than that, guys. We're going to do it again. Different phrase, same concept, okay? People are... Last one. Life is... Awesome. Okay, now I always do that because you can tell a lot about someone by how they answer that question. See, the average person, what they answer is they say, I am stupid, people are dumb, and life sucks. And that's why my message is very simple. Don't be average. Whatever you do, run away from, okay? Now, my message started about 7 years ago when my life changed because someone told me to read a book. Now, here's the thing, guys. Before I read this book, I never read any books at all. In high school, I was told to read a book, To Kill a Mockingbird. Never read it. SparkNotes the mess out of it, okay? If they would have had SparkNotes on the SparkNotes, I would have read that too, okay? Didn't care about no bird, okay? Didn't want to learn about it, right? But the reason I read this book is the name, it got me. The title of this book was called Think and Grow Rich. And I got very excited because I heard the word rich. How many of you guys in here, raise your hands, would love to be rich? Oh yeah, right? That's what I was saying. I was like, tell me how to become rich. Let's go, okay? So I read this book, read it in a week, read it 7 times after that, and since I read that book, I've read over 300 books. Read a book a week. One of the weird things I do. Reason why I do that, yeah, I thought it was an accomplishment. Never read before. I started reading these books, and all they talked about is success and successful people. and how to deal with failure and how to accomplish your goals and how to do stuff I never was taught. So I got really excited. Like I said, I wanted to become rich. So I set a goal that I wanted to make a lot of money because I thought if I made a lot of money, I'd be happy. So I got into sales because I was told that when you get into sales, whatever you put in, you get out. You work hard, you make a lot of money. Made sense to me. So I had a goal. I wanted to make a lot of money. Started selling insurance, okay? Within a year, I hit my goal. And the biggest disappointment in my life was on the day that I made over $10,000 in one day. And the reason why is because when I went to bed that night and my head hit the pillow, I was not happy at all. It made no sense to me, right? I had a goal. I accomplished my goal. All the book said, if you accomplish your goal, you'll be happy. And I wasn't at all. Now, the next day I was asked to go speak at a school. One of the things I do is I go around and speak to different schools. Spoke to over 500 kids that day. They got excited. They liked the message. They said, you know what, I feel like I could go out and do anything. I want to go to college. I want to do all this stuff. They were very excited. I made no money. All pro bono. Now, when I went to bed that night, I felt good. I'm not going to lie. I was telling everybody, I was posting all over Instagram, like, this is good. This feels amazing. I want to do more of this. But there was no money involved. And a question popped into my head that night that I'll never forget. And the question was, will the world be a better place because I was in it? Now, the day before I made $10,000, who did that affect? Me. That day, I affected over 500 kids, made no money, and was ecstatic. And that's when I realized something, guys. The only time I was happy was when I was mad. And the only way you will ever be happy is if you stay mad. I love the faces I'm getting right now. You guys are like, you had me at rich, Bryce, but now you're making no sense. Happy mad? Okay, I'm not talking about the mad that you're thinking of. I'm talking about making a difference, right? That's why you guys are all here tonight. You guys want to make a difference with watering the world, community, world changers, right? And I'm an inspirational speaker, so I'm going to tell you guys, whatever you want to do in life, just set a goal and you can go out and do it, right? No, wrong, 100% wrong. I'm going to be honest with you guys. It ain't going to happen. I'm not the average speaker. I'm going to keep it real with you guys tonight. Because the average person at one time in their life has a goal, has an inspiration hit them, and they say, I'm going to go out and do this, and they don't do it. That's the average person. And I'm going to tell you what happens. I do it every time I go and speak to high schools. I tell them, guys, we're going to play a game. I want you guys to write down your goals. I'm going to give you 30 seconds to write down 10 goals you want to accomplish in your life. Only one rule. I love this rule. Don't think. Just write. Okay? And this is exactly what happens every single time I do it. They get excited. They get the pen. I say go, and this is what happens. You know what they're looking at? You know what this is? You know who they're looking at and listening to? A voice. A voice that says, you can't do that. This thing's getting out of control right now. You can't do that. That's never going to happen. And you know what they do? They stop. And they listen to it. They listen to that voice that comes in and says, you can't do that. That's never been done before. That's not realistic. Don't do that, guys. That's not safe. And you know what I say? That's your BS. A bunch of BS. And every single one of you has BS. I can tell you have a lot. You're like, it's like punching me in the face how much BS you have right now. And I'm not referring to the BS teachers, don't get mad. I'm not talking about that BS, okay? We're keeping it PG here. The BS I'm talking to is your belief system. Every one of you has it, okay? I have a big problem with this. And the reason why I have a problem with this, how many of you guys in your life have ever had a crush? Raise of hands. Let's go, okay? You know when you first have a crush and you get all excited and you get the phone number and you're like, oh, we're gonna start texting, and you start texting, and when you guys first start texting, it's like instant response, right? Like you're on one. You're like, hey, what's up? Nothing, what are you doing? Let's do this. And it's back and forth, back and forth. You guys are all laughing because you've been there, okay? And then something happens that you're like, you know what? I'm gonna ask this girl if she wants to go out on a date. I'm feeling good, right? So you say, hey, what are you doing later? You wanna hang out? No text. Make sure it's sent. You gotta make sure it's sent, right? Yeah, it's sent. Okay, I'm good. She'll text me. She's probably just busy right now. Voice comes inside your head, the voice that you listen to. Why'd you send that text? I know I shouldn't have sent that text. I was stupid. Why did I send that text? I told you not to send that text. Now she's not going to text you back. You start thinking. Hour goes by, you check the phone again because, she might not have reception. That's what you're saying. Voice comes back, bro, she has reception. She ain't hitting you up because you shouldn't have sent that text. I know I shouldn't have sent that text. I was so stupid. Why did I send that text? Another hour goes by, voice comes back, and it's cocky now. It's like, bro, you know what? You don't even need her. Actually, you don't need a girl at all. This is 2018. Do you, boo-boo. Don't text her. And then you get all excited, and you're like, you're right, I should do that. You take a selfie, you post it on Instagram, and you say, this is my year, I'm doing me. Who wants to hang out? Let's go. I'm single. You go to bed. You wake up the next morning, and you get a text from the girl. And she says, my bad, I fell asleep. What are you doing today? You want to hang out? Voice comes back in, let's go. Hang out with her. Yeah, I told you she liked you. She wants to hang out with you. And you're like, yeah, you're right. I listen. If that voice was sitting next to you and it was your friend, you would have a bipolar friend. And I would say, find a new friend. But the average person never even is aware of that. And that voice kills more dreams than any other factor. So the first thing with whatever you guys want to do is you got to identify your BS. Right? It comes from somewhere. I'll tell you where it comes from. As soon as you are born, two people come into your life, filled with BS, and they love to tell you about it. Anybody know who I'm talking about? Parents, don't get mad, okay? It's your parents. And not all their BS is right. Some of it is, okay? But you listen to it. And then as soon as you're old enough, you go to school, where you're surrounded by a bunch of other kids that come to school with a bunch of their own BS, and the kid with the loudest BS wins. So then you start listening to his BS, never questioning where it came from. And then you get out into the real world. You get a boss filled with BS. He's always telling you his BS. And then when you're done, you get into society, and guys, we got a president that got a lot of BS, right? Loves to say his BS, okay? So you just listen. Go through your entire life, just listen to everybody's BS and never even identify it. When you guys have a goal that you want to make a difference, a voice is going to come inside your head, you got to identify it, right? You don't come out the womb with BS. You don't come out saying, you know what, I'm stupid, people are dumb, and life sucks, go Trump, right? No baby will say that, I promise you that, okay? You gotta identify it. Now, how do you break it? You gotta question it. You question something enough, you'll break it. And the best story that honestly shows how important it is to question it, how many of you guys in here run track? Any of you guys run the mile? How fast do you run the mile? You right there in the front. How fast do you run the mile? Yes. 8 minutes? Oh, dang, you're booking. Okay, I'm trying to get there. That's one of my goals. Okay, not there. You know, for the longest time, it was a fact. They had smart people called scientists that said you couldn't run a mile faster than 4 minutes. It's true. You just couldn't do it. And one of the ways they proved it, they used to sick lions on people. I'm gonna tell you guys something, okay? I run a mile in like 10 minutes, don't judge, I'm working on it, that's one of my goals, okay? Trying to get faster. If you sicked a lion on me, I would run under 4 minutes every single time. Ain't no lion catching me, okay? But for the longest time, it couldn't be done. Until one dude said, what if? Like, what if it could be done, right? I know it's never been done. I know I've never done it. I know no one's done it. I know people have facts saying you can't do it. But what if it could, right? So he questioned it. He said he was going to beat it. He didn't just say it, guys. You can't just talk about it. He actually went to work on it. A year later, in 1954, a guy named Roger Bannister ran a mile in less than 4 minutes. Here's the crazy thing, though, guys. His record only lasted 36 days. Because someone else saw it being done, and they started questioning it. Wait a minute, so you're telling me they were wrong, and it could be done? Well, if it could be done, maybe I could do it. And the following year, 36 people broke it. One dude questioned the entire BS of the entire world. and broke it. Now a lot of people run a mile under 4 minutes. I'm not one of them. Don't judge, okay? I'm working on it. So the second thing you guys got to do is you got to question it. Now, when I go speak to kids, you guys have all these facts of why you can't do something. I know that. I speak to kids. They say, no, I can't go to college. My parents have never gone to college. I never get A's. I can't get with that girl because I've never been with a girl like that. I can't have that job because I always get denied. Let me tell you something. When you say words like never and always, you're saying you're perfect. And you're not a perfect failure. So stop with your BS. Question it enough, and you'll start to realize it's not a fact. I don't care what you say, it can be done. Last thing you guys got to do, and this generation is really bad with it, you guys got to commit, man. You got to commit. We're the instant gratification generation, guys. We want something, we pull out our little phone and say, hey, Siri, how do I get this, or who invented this? Oh, I got no Wi-Fi. This is taking too long. I'm done. It's not that important. We do that. You got to commit. When you set a goal, you got to develop that bamboo mentality, guys. I'm not talking about Rafiki. I'm talking about a different bamboo. How many of you guys in here have a Chinese bamboo tree? Raise of hands. You know how Chinese bamboo trees work. Let me tell you. So say I tell you all this stuff and you get inspired and you say, Bryce, I want a Chinese bamboo tree. That is my dream. I want to go do that. Let me tell you how it's going to work, guys. You got this dream. You got this goal. You say, I'm going to do it. I've read all the facts. I got my belief. I'm going to go out and do it. So you get the seed. You fertilize the ground. You rake it. You start watering. Get your hose and you start watering. Let me tell you what happens. A year goes by. Ain't nothing there at all. But you're cool. It's only been a year, right? You know it's going to happen. You're still committed. I'm going to work. Year 2 goes by. Still watering. Your homie comes up, because they always come up. Say, what are you doing, Bryce? Oh, I'm just watering my tree. That's what I'm doing. Bryce, there's nothing there. Oh, no, it's coming, bro. Trust me, it's coming. Just give it time. It's coming. All right, Bryce, do you? Walks away. 3rd year, your homie comes back, but he doesn't come alone. They always bring friends with them. Hey, look what Bryce is doing. He's still watering that dirt. Bryce, what are you doing over there? Oh, I'm just watering my dirt. This is going to happen. Yeah, you said that last year, Bryce, and the year before that. Ain't nothing there. Your friends start laughing. They start taking jabs at you. They walk away. Year 4 comes. Ain't nothing there. Your friends, your family, society comes back and they say, what the heck are you doing? Stop doing that. It's not there. It's never going to happen. And they leave. And the average person starts to question it. Maybe I shouldn't do this. Maybe, you know what, this is probably actually, I don't know if it's going to happen. And they're doing that over there. No one's ever done this before. I don't even think this is worth it. And the average person bails. They stop. And I'm going to tell you guys something. That's why you will never hear a great story written about an average person. Ever. Because they stop. And they quit. But year 5, if you just stick it out, year 5, in 6 weeks, that tree will grow 80 feet. Now let me ask you something. Did the tree grow 80 feet in 6 weeks or 80 feet in 5 years? I don't care what it is, guys. I don't care what you want out of life. Okay, the dumbest question you could ask someone is, what do you want out of life? You know what they say? They all say the same thing. I want money, legacy, family, I want to be known, all that stuff, okay? Everybody wants that. That's a dumb question. What you need to ask yourself is, what are you willing to suffer for? What are you willing to suffer for? Are you willing to suffer that your friends may not believe in you? Your family may not believe in you. It may not happen overnight. You may have to go through failure after failure after failure. It may be 1 year, it may be 50 years. Ask yourself, are you willing to do it? And if you answer yes, then go to work. But if you answer no and you realize I'm not willing to do it, it's okay. Society will tell you you're a failure if you don't leave a legacy and you don't win a Nobel Prize and you don't have a certain amount of followers on Instagram, you're a failure, just give up. And they're wrong. Okay, you don't have to win a Nobel Prize. Every single one of you guys is not gonna win a Nobel Prize, okay? And that's okay. But what's not okay is accepting average as an okay lifestyle. That's not okay. You have to make a goal that you have to wake up every single morning with the intention to stay mad. And if you do that, then I promise you the world will be a better place because you were in it. So guys, set a goal. When you set a goal, figure out your BS, right? Where'd it come from? Identify it. Second thing you gotta do is you gotta question it. Start breaking it down. All these facts you have of something you can't do, they're wrong. Just question them. And the last thing, guys, make sure you commit, right? As long as you commit and you never quit, then you're not labeled a failure. I don't care what you guys want to do in life. Whatever you do, just make a promise to yourself that no matter what happens, don't be average, guys. Thank you very much, guys. That is my time.
So I want to say welcome back. I hope you guys enjoyed your breakout session. And right now we're going to show you guys our top 3 essay finalists.
I'm Elena Tess. I'm 17 years old and I'm a senior at University Preparatory. I have 2 brothers and 1 sister and I have 3 dogs. Probably the first one is analytical. I like to analyze the situation and figure out, I don't like to just jump in, I like to take a step back and figure out what's the best way to approach something. The second word, I'd probably say organized. I'm a very organized person. I set deadlines, I'm always on time with my work. And third is probably explorer. I enjoy going places and visiting new things, and yeah. I'd like to be a veterinary technician. I really fell in love with it when I went 2 years ago to intern with a vet, and I just learned this is my passion and this is what I want to do with my life. I want to be a vet tech, but I want to focus on cattle. I like cows and bigger animals, so. Well, I enjoy color guard. I joined about 3 years ago and it's honestly changed my life. I've created strong friendships. I've become so much more confident in myself and presenting myself in front of others. And I've just had so much fun. I've had so many fun experiences, and like my slogan says, I hope people will assess rather than assume. I want them to take the time to research and understand before formulating an opinion, because I, for one, had the opinion that recycled drinking water was gross. That was disgusting until I researched it and learned that it honestly is the best way and it's not gross. If I could pick any superpower, it would be probably have the power to multiply myself, just so I'm constantly doing things like helping others, and I'm a very busy bee, I guess you could say, and I think that'll help me get stuff done and help other people and be able to go in different places and change the world. In 5 years, I see myself hopefully working in a vet clinic, being successful and pursuing my passion, and possibly pursuing another degree in veterinary medicine, like a specific dental or anesthesia.
My name is Daniel Colon. I live in Victorville, near the Victorville Mall. I have 1 brother and 3 dogs, which is a boxer, a Chihuahua Terrier mix, and a toy poodle. Pick 3 words to describe myself. I'd say I'm pretty ambitious, persistent, and just an easygoing person. So what that means is basically I'm just kind of laid back with my personality, you know. And but when I set my mind to something, I'll really keep going to overcome those tasks and get to what I want to do. One of my hobbies is engineering. So I don't really want to major in that field, but I just really like making something out of nothing. It's really satisfying for me. So right here, this is a sea perch, and what it is, it's kind of like a little underwater submarine. And this is a prosthetic arm. So the challenge my team and I had for this is to come up with a hand that would actually work, pick things up, throw things, carry things around, work like a normal hand. And so what I did with this with my team is we wanted to be really original, and so we kind of colored it and made it look like a real hand. So I 3D printed these fingers and all this hand components. I just made it myself. And then we attached strings to it, so it would be attached to these servos, and when you turned it on, it would kind of close, open, grab things. When I graduate high school, I will want to follow an environmental field. I've already kind of applied under environmental and ecology for some colleges, but I really want to pursue environmental science because I want to make a difference with my life and do something important. And I think that's something coming up that we got to change the world, save everything that's going on. Well, in 5 years I should be just out of college, so I don't expect myself to be really successful, which I know is kind of relative. But I see myself on a path to do something great. If I could pick a superpower, kind of want to be selfish here and say telekinesis and stuff, but I don't really know how I could help people there. It just looked really cool in Chronicles, the movie, but to help other people, I'd say controlling the weather, and I could really help with climate change. I want people to understand that recycled water really isn't as bad as it seems, but we're all kind of in this water crisis together, and we all need to do our part to get out of it, and drinking recycled water is an easy way to do that.
My name is Andrew Canchola. I live in Victorville, California. I live in a family of 4, and I have a twin sister actually. So growing up has always been fun because we've got to do stuff together. So that's kind of unique to me. I have a pet dog, golden retriever. His name's Buddy. I've lived here my whole life, and I'm 17 years old now. I've really enjoyed growing up here. If I had 3 words to describe myself, they'd be, first of all, active, because I've always enjoyed being outdoors, either just playing a sport with some friends or just hanging out with friends. So I'm always active doing something. The next word to describe myself would be responsible. I find myself to be pretty responsible in doing tasks that people ask me to do. The next word to describe myself would be hardworking. Whenever someone asks me to do something, I put my whole heart into it and effort to give my best. When I graduate high school, I would like to pursue environmental engineering at Colorado State University, where I've already been accepted to, which I'm super excited about. And I'm just looking forward to studying environmental engineering because I'd love for my kids someday to enjoy the outdoors for what it actually is, and just I love being outdoors, so that's what prompted me to maybe look into environmental engineering. The one thing that I want people to understand is that this water is safe to drink. The first thing that I said was it tastes just like water, which is one of the most common responses that people get after trying the water. This water is totally fine to drink, so that's the one thing that I want people to know, that it is okay. If I were to pick a superpower, it would have to be the power to heal people, because I feel that could be very useful to the world and just overall make the world a better place. 5 years from now, I see myself either finishing up or graduating from Colorado State University with a degree in environmental engineering, which I hope to put forth into my future career and just enjoy life from that point. So one of the hobbies that I'm passionate about is golf, because not only do you get to play on a beautiful golf course like this, but you get to have fun and rivalry amongst my friends, so that's pretty fun. I've been playing since I was about 3 or 4 years old, and I've grown up playing with my dad, so I've always had fun doing that.
Hope you guys feel like you kind of know the finalists now, and you guys all look pretty smart, so I'm sure you figured out that one of those people up there was me. So I just want to take a moment and encourage you guys to enter this scholarship next year if you're eligible, if you're still going to be in high school. Because it's a great experience, fantastic experience, and it was fun for me, and you really learn a lot about yourself and about water. But now I want to introduce the winner of the essay competition, a fellow university prep student. Please join me in presenting our next great speaker, Elena Tess.
Hi, good afternoon. First off, I'd just like to thank the Mojave Water Agency for allowing me to participate in this. Like Daniel said, it was an amazing experience, and I hope and encourage you guys all to apply for it in the future. So, let's assess, not assume, the Lana campaign. Say you were to give someone a drink of water and ask them how it tastes. They respond, good. Then you proceed to inform them that this is recycled water that was once previously located in their sewage. The next thing you will see is them rushing to the nearest trash can to throw up in. It has nothing to do with the taste. Psychologically, people just cannot grasp the idea of purifying something that was so dirty and undrinkable. In order to end this yuck perception, we must convince the high desert that this water is safe and not as gross as what is assumed. This can be achieved by creating a new name, educating, mentoring the youth, examining costs, and producing statistics. The best place to start in taking the yuck factor out is to rename it. The name itself, recycled wastewater, triggers an immediate negative response. Yeah. Singapore has been recycling water for 14 years now, and the public supports it 100%. Why? Because of its name. It is not simply called recycled wastewater, but new water. Renaming the water made a huge psychological difference in the opinion of it. Another example of this is San Diego's program. In the late 1990s, San Diego introduced the idea of a recycled program, and the public responded with the derogatory phrase, toilet to tap. The public was against the idea, and any hope to establish this program was completely diminished. It was not until San Diego redesigned their program, renaming the water to pure water, that the public began to support it, and the program gained the ability to move forward. By disassociating wastewater and recycled drinking water, we can create positive responses. Educating the public about our water supply can also change the negative viewpoints of it. The sewage water goes through an extensive cleaning process. After the water has passed through screens to remove large materials, the water enters primary treatment, where the solids and liquids are separated from each other using gravity. Here sediment and inorganic materials sink to the bottom and then are removed from the tank. The water then moves on to secondary treatment, where microorganisms modify other organisms to eat away any bacteria and waste with the help of aeration tanks. Tertiary treatment then disinfects the water using either chlorine or UV lights. Victor Valley's water that has been tertiary treated is labeled as Title 22 and contains less than 500 milligrams per liter of total dissolved solids. From here, the water is usually released back into the river or used for landscaping. If used for consumption, the water would then enter two possible purification processes: indirect potable reuse and direct potable reuse. In indirect potable reuse, an environmental buffer is used to clean the water naturally. This is done by placing the water into a surface water source or groundwater. In addition to purifying tertiary treated water, direct potable reuse can be used, which can consist of procedures like microfiltration, reverse osmosis, and another round of UV lights. After using either purification process, the water is at a safe drinking level standard of less than 500 milligrams per liter of total dissolved solids, with 99.9% of all bacteria and other harmful materials removed. Chlorine is added into the mix of the recycled water as a residual disinfectant to maintain the clean water levels. Adding chlorine may scare people, but it's important to note that this level of dosage has no negative effects on the human body and is actually already being done to the water we consume today. The high desert population can be assured that this water is safe to drink and no longer associated with sewage. By educating the public about this process, we can create positive responses. Now, who do we educate? Who do we influence? You. Our youth can make the change for the greater good and the environment. Now, while the adult generation essentially sways the vote, our future voters will one day have a say and be able to change results. The idea of the youth possibly influencing and educating the adult generation may sound difficult, but not impossible. If enough students are educated through established programs in their schools, Their parents can do nothing but listen. An example of this is the recycling program. Recycling was introduced and taught to elementary children who then went home and passed the information on to their parents. Because of this, we now have a society that is consciously aware and supporting recycling. Like this program, we can start with educating the children and work our way up the generations. Educating the public to establish a positive view about recycled water all starts with the future generation. Another yuck factor keeping the public away from deciding to switch is not the water itself, but the cost. Even money can make people queasy at times. We already know it's going to be expensive. San Diego has announced they will be undergoing this program, and the cost alone is terrifying people. It will cost $3 billion for this program to be implemented. Bills will go up, that's a fact, but the overall outcome will be more rewarding and cost efficient. San Diego's program, Pure Water San Diego, will produce over 30 million gallons of water a day that can be pumped directly back to the public. If the high desert was to follow in these footsteps, this increase in water supply could allow economic growth and less dependence on Northern California for importing water. Stress the outcome of the cost, not the cost itself. This will bring more people to the recycled water side. If you have ever taken English, which I hope all you middle school and high school kids have, you will know about the power of logos when persuading a reader. Logos is a literary device used as a persuasion tool to appeal to logic. We can use logos to influence public opinion about recycled water. Society loves numbers because many times it's the one thing that can be trusted. So statistics on health risk, cleanliness, cost, potential available water, and other influencing factors can be provided to prove to the public that this water is safe and proactive in this advanced age. Giving the public something they can trust will bring more people to accepting this idea and create more positive outlooks within the high desert community. Water is forever. The water in your water bottles right now is the same water the dinosaurs had. But scarcity of viable drinking water is becoming a real problem in the high desert, and recycled water is the solution. The yuck ideology can be diminished by renaming, educating, mentoring the youth, examining costs, and producing statistics. The Lana campaign will bring comfort and understanding to a worrisome public. Let's assess, not assume. Thank you.
That was great. You're definitely deserving of that #1 spot, Elena. Thank you. And now at this time, I would like to ask the other essay finalist, Andrew Canchola, to join Elena and me here on stage for the awards. Also, would Tom McCarthy, a representative from Victor Valley Wastewater Reclamation Authority, Alltech Civil Engineering, Liberty Utilities, and Apple Valley Chamber of Commerce join us for a few photos?
Wow. Again, my name is Tom McCarthy. I'm the general manager at Mojave Water Agency, and I'm grateful you're all here today. But I'm very grateful that we have such great students in this community. Seeing the process of the applicants and the product of our top 3, it was impressive to say the least. As someone in this industry, I'm still learning, and I love what I'm seeing. So, in no particular order, I'd like to bring forward our 2 runners-up that you just met. Andrew and Daniel, could you please come up? I'm presenting Andrew and Daniel $1,000 scholarships from the Mojave Water Agency. Thank you both very much. And our winner this year in the Mojave Water Agency Essay Contest, Elena Tess. So now if we could please have our sponsors come on stage as well. And programs like this don't happen without sponsors, so at this time what I'd like to do is just hand the microphone over to each sponsor and have them introduce themselves and who they represent. In fact, it's probably a better idea if I leave the microphone here and have each sponsor just step up to the podium, please.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Janice Moore. I'm President and CEO of the Apple Valley Chamber of Commerce, and I'm here to represent the business community and congratulate these awesome winners on these wonderful essays. We all have a bright future ahead of us. Thank you.
Well, hi, my name is Tony Penna, and I'm from Liberty Utilities. And I also want to congratulate the winners. What a fabulous job. What a great group of young people. And to the students, I would encourage you, do not be average and make a difference. I'm sure you will.
Hi, my name's Carl Coleman. I'm president of Alltech Engineering. I'm also vice president of the Mojave Water Agency, a very proud participant in this event. And I congratulate the winners. They're fabulous. I was here last year. I enjoyed it. I'm back again and enjoyed it very much. Thank you.
Hi, how y'all doing? Good. Thank you for asking. My name's Logan. I am the head flusher at Victor Valley Wastewater Reclamation Authority. So you flush it and we fix it. Absolutely thrilled to be here and to be a sponsor for this program. And I want you all to know that if I'm ever fortunate enough to have children, I want them to grow up just like Aliana. Okay? So congratulations to you all and thank you.
If you'll bear with us, we'll just take a couple photos, and I do need to tell you, there was no one happier or more proud than Logan Olds while this presentation is going on, seeing wastewater and in all of its glory.
All right, our next speaker is Logan Olds, the General Manager of the Victor Valley Wastewater Reclamation Authority. He's known for bringing humor and passion to the subject of wastewater. Join me as we welcome Mr. Logan Olds.
All right, I don't have a clicker. There's the clicker. Awesome. Will it buzz? Is it already buzzing? All right, good deal. Hey there. Okay, super excited as I always get because, of course, I think that there is nothing better than the capital S of sewage. So we're going to talk about how to get a career doing what I am fortunate enough to do each and every day. But I was also thinking, after listening to Bryce's amazing and inspirational talk, about really what's my belief system. I mean, why in the world would someone like me, who's nothing more than kind of a dorky, odd person anyway, get so much enjoyment out of sewage and all that it has to offer? So I thought I'd share with you some of my belief system, because there are people in this room that I've known for a very long time, but I actually don't think they know me. So, Bryce, this is all your fault. So, half my family are grade school teachers, the other half are blue-collar tradespeople. And if there was one thing I knew growing up, it was how to fix things, because if it broke and you don't have money, well, it stayed broke unless you know how to fix it. And then also, all my family always made certain that I read. So, I've always been a big reader. But, you know, quite frankly, I did not have a clue what I wanted to do. So all of you young people that are out there in the audience, you hear these folks that are up here saying what they wanted to do. I will tell you that I had no idea. All I knew was I liked things that were out in the environment. So whether it was rocks or plants or whether it was the animals that were out there, but something in the environment. So went to school and had a very interesting experience because didn't have much money. So when you believe that you really want to do something, you will figure out a way to make it happen. I ended up living in an old grain silo. Had no hot running water. Matter of fact, it had no water. There was no restroom. There was no shower. There was nothing like that. So had to build some of those own things, but fortunately, I knew how to do that. But it was the only way that I could persevere and continue to educate myself because I knew that I wanted to do something that was meaningful. Not just for me, but it would be meaningful for the people that I could eventually help. Still had no clue what it was going to be. So I'm going through school, taking classes, making mistakes like everyone does, because when you're young, that's part of what you're supposed to do is make mistakes. And guess what? Here I am almost 50. I still make a lot of mistakes, but it's just part of life. You learn and you grow from those. Eventually, I learned about sewage. And let me tell you, it was love at first sight. Absolute love at first sight. Because guess what? What I get to do is what I grew up doing. You get to read about things, you get to work with tools, and I'm going to show you what some of those jobs are about. But the one great thing about what we get to do each and every day, and I'm asked this all the time, Logan, why didn't you go into the potable water side? Well, about 15 years ago, I had that choice. I had advanced to the point where I could go one way or I could go the other. And what I decided was I really liked the biology of wastewater treatment. And to me, that is why I'm here before you, is because I enjoyed those aspects of the organisms. So, can any of you name something that you can do or build that doesn't involve water? Did I hear Legos? Listen, it takes water to make those Legos, and I've got a lot of Legos at home. Matter of fact, my godchildren, that's what I get them, Legos. No, you can't name a single thing because water is critical to absolutely everything around us. Just look around you. The water that was used to make the materials on this stage, the water that was used in the brains for the people that made these presentations. Water is absolutely every single place around you. It took water to create it, to be it, to do it. And you are using water just to be here, right? Sitting here. So water is the one universal aspect of everything. It is all around us. Is there any such thing as new water? There's no such thing as new water because she stole my line about dinosaurs, but that's all right. So water has always been here. It will always be here, and I feel very blessed and fortunate that my staff and I are given the opportunity to take what you flush every day, fix it, clean it up, and send it right back to you. Yep. Okay, so where's a really fancy place? Orange County, right? So a lot of fancy communities up there. Guess whose sewage Orange County drinks? San Bernardino, Colton, Fontana, all of those communities. As a matter of fact, Orange County actually owns land in San Bernardino to ensure that that flow of treated effluent from those wastewater facilities continues to come to Orange County. But we're not here to talk about that. We're here to talk about how you can get a job. Oh my goodness. So this is home away from home. If you look in your upper left-hand corner there, that's where I get to spend a lot of my day. And you can see a number of staff there behind me, but David, you told me I could see this, but I'm too blind. I can't actually see that. We've got about 30 some odd employees. We treat 10.5 million gallons per day of wastewater. For you water people, that's about 3 acre feet. An acre foot is what should supply about 2.5 families a year, about 3 families a year. Is that about right? See, yeah, okay. Tom's giving me, you're good enough for now, but I'll correct you later, that look. We provide wastewater treatment for Apple Valley, Hesperia, Spring Valley, Lake, Oro Grande. And do you know which one of those communities sends us the best wastewater? You want to compete? All right. It's all the same. Sorry. It's all the same. None of you are any better than the other. One of the cool things, we are the single largest piece of public infrastructure located in the high desert. So what does that mean? Guess how much that treatment plant in that corner up there is worth? Except for the people on my board who are employees. Okay, I can't hear you up here. 1 million. Oh my gosh, you are so wrong. So wrong. $1 million. Oh my gosh. Listen, I'll tell you, I can't turn around without spending $100,000 on something. My board complains about that. Logan, don't you have anything that costs less than $100,000? Toilet paper. All right, we got 1 million. I hear 1 million. Who wants to say 10 million? Show me by a raise of hand. 10 million. 16. Who wants to go higher? How about 100 million? 100 million. Who says 200 million? How many people say 200 million? Okay, who wants to say 300 million? $300 million. All right, now you're just screwing with me. That's not why we're here. There is over $300 million invested in our infrastructure. $300 million to take what you flush down the toilet, reuse it, repurpose it, and release it back into the environment so that you all can drink it again. $300 million. So do you think this is something that we're just casual about? Absolutely not. One of the fun facts is that if I don't follow the state and federal rules, I can actually go to jail for a very long time. Anyway, fun fact. Woo-hoo. Okay. Our primary job each and every day is to protect public health. So we want to make certain that things like typhoid and all of those other bad, nasty diseases are not transmitted from one person to another by fecal and urine contamination. Okay, we're in a church. Can I say fecal? That's what, I can't say that word because I know I was given a list of, okay, don't say this. You're in a church. I'm like, okay. All right, so we can say, can I say poo? Because that's easier for me. I'm getting the thumbs up. Okay. All right, I can say poo, so that means I can say pee, the important ones. So what we want to do is make certain that we're protecting public health by taking those waste products from you and the version of poo and pee, remove the bad elements, and then be able to put it back into the environment. That's what we do each and every day. So I was very pleased to hear that you want to pursue environmental engineering. Awesome. I chose the natural resources and sciences side rather than the engineering. I thought it was kind of boring, just the math size. How big am I going to make this basin? I wanted to know what was going on inside the basin. That's kind of the difference between the sciences and the engineering. I would have been a lot wealthier had I chosen your side, but anyway. All right, protecting public health. Okay, that's not me. Oh, but I have got some stories I could tell you. Oh my gosh, let me tell you, if you work in the wastewater industry, you will come away with some amazing stories. But again, we're in a chapel, so I probably can't tell those stories, right? Okay, can't tell those stories. Also, be glad that you're in the United States because this picture is actually not that old. In many of the developing nations around the world, they will actually send people in nothing more than loincloths to go in, swim through the material, the muck, the poo, the pee, all of that stuff, to try and clear blockages. So I feel very fortunate to be here and to have the tools and resources that we do, but that's not what we do. This is Johnny. Johnny is a local high desert resident. Do you all know Johnny? You're clapping like, oh, sweet. Okay, Johnny is awesome. Okay, he does a really good job for us. And actually, he was one of my students, construction technology and public works at VVC, operations, really good guy. So what we try and do here locally is we want to train you, how can you get a job? If you don't like sewage, okay, you're not as cool as the rest of us, but it's okay. If you want to go into water, we can teach you how to get into that industry as well on the potable water side. Okay, we got Johnny, we got Latif. Latif comes to us all the way from Morocco, right? Amazing person, extremely intelligent. He started off at an entry-level position, is now a manager at our agency. He's done a great job for us. And finally, Sal. Does anyone know Sal? Okay, so Johnny's just the popular one. He is pretty cool. Yeah, I'll admit. Yep. All right. In California, over 6,000 licensed operators. So what does that mean to be a licensed operator? Basically, in order to do what we do, if you're interested in operations, you need to get a license. There's an internship program, both on the water and on the wastewater side. So this is how you can go about getting an introduction into the career field. And there are home study courses through CSU Sacramento. If you are interested, just get a hold of me. We have our table that's out there, and I will personally help you through every single step of the process because I want you to enjoy sewage treatment as much as, well, you may never enjoy it as much as I do, but if you get even like 20% there, that would be sweet. All right, over 100 public agencies responsible for wastewater treatment. That's actually wrong. There are over 10,000 agencies nationwide. There are over 1,000 agencies just in California. But the cool thing is there's this thing called, what's it called? I was hoping it would come to me, but the brain is, as we like to say, having a brain fart. Can I say that in here? Okay. Well, whatever it's called, it means that you get a license here, you can go to another state, and they'll accept reciprocity. There we go, reciprocity. So anyway, matter of fact, one time I actually applied for a job and they interviewed me. 5 minutes, come on, you just can't do it. For Antarctica, right, to run the wastewater treatment plant there. That would have been something else, Antarctica. Plus, where are you gonna spend it? Oh, I'd like another snow cone? Not happening. The silver tsunami, let's see, what does that say? 31% of wastewater workers set to retire in the next 10 years. The numbers, depending on where you are, if you're looking at operators, that number is actually closer to 70%, but overall in our industry, over 30% of the workforce is retiring, so there's a lot of opportunities that are there. All right, so we talked about plant operators. You get to do all sorts of neat things. That thing that says pillars, a high-speed turbo blower, that's actually a $300,000 box that has a jet engine inside of it. I kid you not, this is a jet engine that serves no purpose but to take the oxygen we're breathing and to take it to what we call the mixed liquor, which is all the microorganisms that you get to play with. Yes, you would get to play with them. And keep them alive and doing the things that they like to do. We also have electrical and instrumentation, and that picture on the far left was on a night that I was puckered more than I've been in 20 some odd years in this industry. We actually had a complete power failure at our facility. No power, no backup power, no nothing. And guess what? Nick was still flushing his toilet. See, we're in one of those industries where it's 365 to 24/7. I can't go to you all and say, oh, listen, we're having a problem. I need you to stop flushing your toilet. You can't take showers. By the way, no using your sink, dishwashers. Well, if you need to use the toilet, just go outside and find a bush. Right? Doesn't work in our industry. So electrical and instrumentation technicians are critically important to what we do. Environmental compliance. These guys are out in the field, so they make certain that the waste that's being sent to us meets certain conditions, make certain that no one's dumping gasoline down the drain. Oh, and by the way, You know, I think this is probably the young males, not the young ladies that are in this room. But if you guys ever ruin my Thanksgiving by putting another 60-gallon water heater down our collection system, I would love to find you and introduce you to the headworks without your shoes. Okay, the only things that should go in our collection system is poo, pee, and toilet paper. There is no such thing as flushable wipes. Tires do not belong. Water heaters do not belong. Big rocks do not belong. Poo, pee, and toilet paper. Otherwise, you create problems. These are the guys that take care of that. And yes, I've spent Thanksgiving and Christmas removing things like tires and water heaters. I don't understand what... Mechanical technicians, these guys fix everything, so if you are mechanically inclined, it doesn't matter whether it's welding, pipe fitting, plumbing, again, electrical, you name it, we need it at the facility. If you got $300 million worth of infrastructure to maintain, I guarantee you need that. Utility workers, these are the jack of all trades. So if you've ever heard that phrase, Jack and Jill of all trades, we use those skills as well. Absolutely critical. By the way, all of you that are young ladies that are in the room, typically your skill set is better than all the young men in the room. You tend to think down the line a bit better, whereas men just generally tend to think, oh, ugh. Maybe I shouldn't do that. Whereas a woman would go, why are you so stupid that you're hitting your head on the speaker? So, women, I invite you to join our industry. There aren't enough of you. Would love to have more of you. Laboratory technicians, very technical skill set. If you are analytical and you want to earn 6 figures, this is a very good field to go into because this is where we do all of the testing to make certain that we don't violate our state and federal permits. This is very technical. On the environmental resources side, watershed side, water quality scientists, right? So you got the water issues that are out there, and I'm sure I'm out of time. Engineering, right? Environmental engineers, this is Alton. I'm sorry, he and I tend to think alike. I'm not sure which one of us is more damaged by that. Collection systems, these guys are out in the field making certain that the pipes that collect sewage from this facility make it all the way to our treatment plant. There's all the administrative side, finance, all of those things, just not enough time. Information technology. If you're interested in the computer sciences, supervisory control, and data acquisition systems, we have invested millions and millions of dollars into computer systems. Top reasons, there they all are. If you have any questions, see me afterwards. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Rolls. Okay. Welcome back, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed your second session, and I hope you guys actually learned a lot from these two. And now we are just minutes away from finding out who's going to win the Problem Solvers competition. But before we do that, we have the cards as I promised. So if I call your name, will you please just walk up to this woman who will be right in front of me? Okay, so our first winner for the AMC Theater $25 gift card is Gilberto Solano from Granite Hill High School. I messed up the last name on this one. Our next winner is from Victor Valley High School. That's Bryant Ramirez Trujillo. And this is for a $25 iTunes gift card. All right, congratulations, guys. All right, now is where I'll be leaving you and handing over the mic, but before I join all you guys in the audience, I would like to introduce Joel Green. Joel Green is the National PBS Series Curiosity Quest Problem Solvers host, so let's give a round of applause for Joel Green.
Woo! What is going on, guys? Are you excited? I'm going to be giving away some money. And more important than that, I'm going to be dismissing us to lunch. This is pretty cool. All right, but before I do that, I have a very short period of time to do all of this, accomplish all this. So I'm going to jump right into it. First and foremost, you guys are you guys having a great day? You guys are so lucky. You have been in the presence of some amazing presenters like Bryce and Logan. Give them a big hand. I love it when I'm around other individuals that feel the way I do. I feel I have the coolest job in the world. And without asking Bryce and Logan, you feel like you have the coolest job. Absolutely, yeah. I mean, but one more time, big hand for the two of them, because it was very inspiring and wonderful. And as you heard, if there's anything rolling around up there to any thought of you continuing a career in this field, by all means, network with all those people in the back. Grab Logan, grab Nick, grab Yvonne and say, what do I need to do? Because I've worked with several water agencies and they have the same problem that this agency is gonna have. In the future, a lot of people are retiring. So they need the next people to step off the bench, and that's you guys. So please don't let this opportunity pass you by. All right, guys. You guys know I do the TV show Curiosity Quest. Curiosity Quest goes green. It airs all over the country. It airs in a few other countries. I host the local, the California-wide show, Our California, where I explore really cool and unique things throughout the state. And we have currently the largest social media platform for where to go, what to do, and what to see throughout the Inland Empire called Inland Empire Explore. It's a really big platform on Facebook. But everything for me started with students telling me what they're curious about. So every one of our episodes of Curiosity Quest is based on a letter of curiosity I get from you guys. So whether it's learning how to make baseball bats with Louisville Slugger, going to an alpaca farm to learn how alpaca farmers live, to learning about recycling water. We work with the Mojave Water Agency and learned about how they move water around up here in the high desert and how important it is to you guys. And Logan's right, man. Every single factory I've ever been into, which I've been into several hundred factories, everything uses water. And I never had that put in front of me before until he asked that question. I was thinking about all the factories of all the things that are created. And it's true, everything uses water. So this is very important. So like I said, if you guys are even thinking about possibility of making this a future, make sure you network these individuals out here. But a couple years ago, I was asked to start giving keynotes with Cal Recycle and a couple different agencies to educators and scientists and environmentalists. And they were asking me to give my perspective working and going through all these factories in basically teaching students. Because our shows, we go into a complicated situation, or we go into a factory that may be hard to explain, and we make it as simple and as easy as possible so students can understand it. And I was asked to give these keynotes to a lot of these scientists, engineers, and educators and whatnot, and I was scared out of my mind. Because instead of talking to students, I was talking to adults that were engineers. I'm not an engineer. I'm not a scientist. I'm not even an environmentalist, a tree hugger. I'm not that. But I'm a guy who had this perspective, so I understood why they were asking me, but I was scared out of my mind. Well, I went in and I started sharing about not overlooking youth. I love what Logan and Bryce were talking about making sure that you guys realize that you are the difference. I was going in saying, hey, all your messaging is aimed at adults. And in closed rooms, they would tell me, well, that's because adults are the decision makers in the house. And I'm like, wrong. You heard Logan say it. What I was suggesting was, give students tools, guide them in the right direction, and get out of their way. Because what you guys can create and what you guys can become is the difference, is the change our world requires. And so I was giving these presentations, and I was in a room with 400 engineers, and I'm telling them this, and I'm thinking they're gonna egg me by the time I'm done, you know? They're gonna throw tomatoes at me. And it was quite the opposite. It was met with, you know, they were very excited. And one of these presentations, I was walking off, and I was kind of tackled as I was walking off. And I know she does not want me to point her out. She hates it when I point her out, but because she's here, guess what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna point her out. Wendy Zinn, who's right here, everybody say hi, Wendy, tackled me when I got off stage. He says, Joel, you get to go to all these factories. You get to ask all these experts questions. You get to meet all these engineers, scientists, and explorers. You get to do it, and you get to see what happens, the things they're doing to change the world. What if you offered that to students? And on that very day in Sacramento, after I got off talking to all these educators and engineers and scientists, Curiosity Quest Problem Solvers was born. And the idea behind it is we present a problem to students. We give them the tools, we give them some guidance, and we get out of your way. And we see what kind of ideas you come up with. So I am so lucky. I know many of you in the audience, we got to work with you guys. We got to present a problem with you guys. And the problem that we presented to you guys is how to reuse a drop of water more than once at home or at school. Again, the problem we did is how to reuse a drop of water more than once at home or at school. We randomly selected 6 teams to participate in this problem solver. And it turned out to be a competition. And all the problem solvers we've ever done, we've never made it a competition. But thanks to the sponsors that are here, which I need to give credit to our wonderful sponsors for making the competition available and giving out prize money and whatnot. Let's see, our sponsors are, of course, as I search for them, Alltech Civil Engineering Incorporated, Liberty Utilities, and Victor Valley Wastewater Reclamation Authority. Let's give our sponsors a very big hand. As a guy who does a TV show on PBS, I know how important sponsors are and underwriters are. It's required to have things like this take place. So thank you guys so much for participating and allow us to award these individuals. So we had 6 participating teams. The grand prize is $3,000. We're gonna be giving a group of students, $3,000 to take back to their school to use on a project at school. That sound pretty cool? No. 2 runner-up schools will receive $1,000 each. Is that pretty cool? $1,000, and then we have gift cards for everybody, which is so cool, right? I'm saying that correct, right, Evo? The team, very good. The teams, not everybody. Parents, teachers, you're out. All right, we're talking the teams. All right. So this is so cool. So I want to announce the schools. The teams that participated, I'm going to go through them quick, and for the sake of time, we'll give a clap after. AAE Middle School, Goodwill Educational Center, Montero Elementary School, Phoenix Academy, Hesperia High School, and University Preparatory School. Let them hear it, guys. You know, anytime we do these problem solvers, at the very end, it's always us adults that are sitting there looking like this. Because we can't believe what we just witnessed. We can't believe what we just saw. We are like dumbfounded about what you guys come up with. And it was no different here. You guys were creative. We had creativity that suggested capturing water from water fountains and irrigation runoff, maintaining sports fields and landscaping, reusing water, figuring out how to work with that. We even had a school focus on public education and create a school-wide educational program. The teams each came up with their own different ideas and their own different flair to how they would present them. In fact, we hear that there's one team after school that's planning on putting together their own firm of environmental education. You talk about making a difference in the world, right, Bryce? That's what I love seeing this stuff. It's literally about giving you guys the tools and getting out of your way. I love it. All right, so what we want to do is we're going to show the video. This is a snapshot. By the way, when we do problem solvers, we document the whole process. And instead of being a half-hour show where we can really get into the nitty-gritty and really kind of show and go through what each team did, it's kind of a snapshot. And this snapshot ends up becoming a teaching tool. So you as students, after this starts airing on PBS, will now become the teachers. Because you have set the example of what is possible. You literally become the example of what other schools and what other educational outfits can do. Just by learning, like, hey, if these students can do it, we can do it at our school. This will start airing on PBS in about a month and a half. And I will make sure that the Mojave Water Agency has that air date to pass on to all you guys. Does that sound fair? All right. So, with further ado, let's go ahead and roll the problem solver video.
We're up here today out at the Mojave Water Agency, and I'm here with Yvonne. Yvonne, what is our problem we're dealing with today?
How to use a drop of water more than once in your home or at your school.
Wow, that is quite a task. Who do we have assembled here today to solve this problem?
We have 6 teams, 3 middle schools, and 3 high schools. We have experts that are going to be talking about the geology of the high desert, about wastewater, gray water, and the psychology of change.
Yvonne, we're in the desert. Is water use different up here than it is anywhere else in California?
It's different in the sense that absolutely every drop counts. We receive less than 6 inches of rainfall a year. So it's not the same as Northern California with all the lovely snow melt. So conservation really has to become a way of life here, not just something you do every once in a while.
Well, Yvonne, the students are already on their way, working hard in the background. Let's see what they come up with. I'm here with Nick with the Mojave Water Agency. Nick, what are some of the things you're noticing from the groups?
I think they have a lot of great questions. Some of the actually younger groups are asking some of the best questions, and it's very refreshing to see young minds thinking about how they can affect this and how they can use more than a drop of water more than once.
What are you guys working on?
We want to use gray water, but recycle it into a new to try to use it for our bathrooms and our garden club and our pond.
What are some ideas you have for helping solve problems of using a drop again?
Like an auto timer or auto stop. Yeah.
You mean like on the sink?
Yeah, on the faucet.
On day 2, we had students presenting their ideas on how to use a drop of water more than once. Topics include turf, gray water, drinking water, steam from a shower, school improvements, and even teaching every student on campus about this very topic. Let's see what they came up with.
Just a lot of kids drink, and we were really curious of what happens when it does go down the drain.
We went to the principal to have a little meeting and talking about this just to make him aware, and he's thinking about scraping the field so there's only sand and there would be less water used.
So what do you think of the challenge that these problem solvers took on?
We're in great hands. I have no problem handing over the task of water conservation and education to these students. They're amazing.
And they're getting real results right now. That's the thing that blows me away. Hey, if you think you have what it takes to be a problem solver, or if you have a problem that needs solving, let us hear from you. Go to curiosityquest.org, click on the Curiosity Quest problem solver link, and let us hear from you. We are in good hands.
We're in excellent hands.
Woo! You know, when we were at the school and we brought judges in, I literally turned to Yvonne. I'm like, I am so glad I'm not a judge, because what we got presented was absolutely mind-boggling. Again, this will air on PBS, and once we drop it on PBS, it'll be on Channel 24, which is the local Inland Empire PBS station. It'll probably re-air several times. So like I said, we'll make sure you guys get that airing notification. But these judges, if we have any of the judges with us, can you guys please stand up? William Blackman, Randy Mayers, George Cardenas, Janine Valenzuela, and Angela Zapita. Do we have any of the judges with us? Yes, we got a judge right there. They're all back there. Boy, you have the toughest job in the world. I don't envy you, but thank you guys so much for participating and allowing, in making the judgment on this so that we didn't have to do it, all right? All right, guys, this is awesome. I'm going to announce our runner-up teams. And what I'd love for you guys to do, the runner-up teams, I'm going to announce 3 teams. I want you to come up to the stage, and we have some gifts for you guys. So let me announce. So you guys ready? You guys are like, what? What's going on? We gotta get some money. All right, here we go. Oh my gosh, this is so exciting. All right, here we go. AAE Middle School, Hesperia High School, and Montera Elementary School. Guys, come on up stage. Come on up. All right, we're gonna come on this side. Now we have some gift cards. Donna McCormick, are gonna come on up here? Let me have you guys come on over here. That's awesome. Awesome. All right. Hey, buddy. What do you guys say? So we have $10 gift cards for every single one of you guys. Thank you so much for your participation. Thank you so much for your involvement. And as you've heard a little bit here, do not let this process die just at the summit. I mean, you guys have now been empowered to make a difference in the world, and it's up to you to carry that on. So we thank you guys so much for everything. At the end, we're going to invite you guys to come back up, and we're going to invite family and teachers along with you to come back up and take pictures. Thank you guys so much. We appreciate it. You guys are going to take a seat. Woo! Oh my gosh. This is so awesome. All right. So, are you guys ready? You ready? Here we go. At lunchtime right around the corner here. I know you guys are starving. Here we go. I need Goodwill Educational Center, University Preparatory, and Phoenix Academy to please join me on stage. Our finalists for the Curiosity Quest Problem Solver event, come on up. Woohoo! We got to make sure we get you guys in the light, okay? All right. Okay. Okay, you can't look at my thing right here. All right. Can't look at it. It's like the envelope. In fact, here we go right here. The envelope right here. All right. All right. Let's just bring you guys, let's slide you down a little bit more. Slide you down just a little bit more. Just want to make sure we're all in the light. You get pictures and whatnot. All right. All right, who's going to win it, guys? Wow, I don't know. All right, so Goodwill, where are you guys at? Where's Goodwill? Raise your hand. All right, Goodwill. How about a big hand, Goodwill? University Prep, where are you guys at? All right, big hand, University Prep. Phoenix Academy, where are you guys at? Right on the end, right? So everyone on the stage right here is going to walk away with some money. It'll be $1,000 to two runners up, and it'll be $3,000 to the winning team. And this year's winning team of the Curiosity Quest Problem Solver, Phoenix Academy! Woo! Sorry if that was loud, my bad. Woo! So you guys, we have our checks, we can give a check. Come on over, there we go. Oh, look at this. Cash money checks. Woo! Look at that. So congratulations, a $3,000 check goes to Phoenix Academy right here. Good job, guys. University Preparatory, you guys have a $1,000 check you're taking back. Goodwill, you guys got a $1,000 check you're taking back. And hold tight, hang tight. We have gift cards that you guys will all each be receiving $10 gift cards. And what I'd love to do right now is I'd love to invite the parents and the staff up, and we're going to take some pictures up here on the stage with each one of the groups. We're going to invite the runners-up group up here as well. We did it. Say that again. Oh, here we go. The plug, one more time. Here we go. Because honestly, our sponsors, we need to have them back up on stage because, again, these things do not happen without sponsors. Victor Valley Wastewater Reclamation Authority, Altech Civil Engineer Incorporated, and Liberty Utilities. Please join us up on stage with all 6 of our teams. Lunch will be outside. They're in boxes. You can eat them here. You can take them with you. You can do whatever. If you are part of these groups, hang tight because we're going to be taking pictures here for a while. Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes the event. Thank you so much for joining us. Woo!